Let me get this adjusted because I'm not. That's somewhat better. Okay. Anyhow, welcome to this edition of the Sunday Monday vlog. I've had a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff happening. I think I'm just going to hold this to get the sun out of the screen. So anyhow, some of the things that have been going on, I've had some good stuff happening, I've had some bad stuff happening, and I've had some really bad stuff happening. So, I guess, since I just looked over there at my truck, for those of you that have been following me and know, I've had a heck of a time with that pickup truck. It's given me all different problems, so many problems, and it's just gotten worse and worse. So the really bad that has happened, the transmission has finally gone on the white truck and the starter died. So therefore I am not fixing the truck. I am going to be getting rid of the truck. I have an ad on Craigslist to see if anybody takes it. I put a price tag of $2,500, which I'm sure nobody's going to take, but I figure I'd try it at that price, and then I'll wait a week and drop it down a little bit, probably down to $2,200, and just continue dropping it until I get it sold. But the scrap, if I take it to the scrap yard, I'm only looking at about $140, $160. So it's not really worth it to do that. So, I mean, if I get it all the way down to $500 and sell it on Craigslist, it's better to do that than take it to the scrapyard. So that's the really ugly part of what's happened. The truck has finally died. But the good news about it is the truck died here at Hummingbird. So we weren't stranded, because my grandfather has this new truck that I'm sitting in right now. And if it wasn't for the truck, I wouldn't be on the Sunday Monday vlog, because it has internet. So that leads me to the next catastrophe. So a couple days ago, I go to get online to make YouTube videos. No internet. So because I get internet for free, I don't call up and complain right away. I give it some time. So next day, still no internet. The next morning, still no internet. So I went ahead and called, because I luckily, the day before this happened, I made about 4 days worth of videos. So I'll probably only have 1 or 2 more days of videos left. I'm not sure what's left in my queue. But after that, I'm going to need a few days off doing the YouTube videos, because the internet company can't get out here till Thursday afternoon, and they're not sure if they'll be able to fix the problem or not Thursday afternoon. So what I might have to try to do is make videos here in the truck, because we got unlimited Wi-Fi in the truck, and use the truck's Wi-Fi to do my videos. Crappy part about that would be wasting gas in the truck trying to make videos and so on and so forth. But luckily, the Wi-Fi in the truck works here at Hummingbird, so I at least have a second avenue of approach to keep my videos going. So that's pretty much the bad things that have been going on. Today, as everybody knows, is Memorial Day, so I want to say Happy Memorial Day to everybody, and thank you for everybody that served, and hope everybody gets justice if they've got injured, and the VA's taking their time and everything like that, like they are with me. You know, that's the way of life. That's what happens when you join the service, and that's what you do when you so-called fight for the country. Little bit sour about it, because we're in so many different wars. We're in so many different people's businesses. It's not like we have people trying to come on to America or anything. We're in other wars and stuff. But I'm staying out of politics. I'm not even going to go any deeper than that. So anyhow, I hope everybody had a great day. Did some good celebrating and everything like that. The good news, I have a lot of work accomplished at the ranch. You'll see videos coming up. I've been tearing down fence like crazy. Yes, once again, I'm tearing down fence like I did here at Hummingbird. Put it up, tear it down, move it here, tear it down, move it to the ranch. Now I'm tearing it down again. And I want to thank one of my subscribers. I'm not going to throw their name out there because they don't want to have public acknowledgement. But I'll publicly acknowledge without saying the name and say thank you so much for all the help you've been giving me. One of my subscribers, actually, I take that back. A couple of my subscribers have been sending contributions to help me get stuff done at the ranch. I do have one subscriber that does it every month, and I really want to help that, or really want to thank that subscriber, because that subscriber is the one that has helped me get the fence. Because as all of you that have donated know, and for those of you that don't know, anybody that sends me donations, I always ask them to give me what they want the donation to go for. I don't take the donations and go out to get a steak dinner. I don't fly out to Vegas. I don't go to Italy for a spaghetti dinner. I do whatever my subscribers send it in for. So I've had some subscribers send donations to help me get stuff for the dogs, for the goats, feed. And of course, this subscriber has helped me out tremendously. And I've gotten a lot of my fence because of this subscriber. And I want you to know, not only am I thanking you, but you're going to be seeing some videos coming out on what I'm doing with that fence that you helped me with. Because without that fence, I could not do what I accomplished this week. It's not totally accomplished. This week I'm going to be getting a trailer load of mulch. But once I get the trailer load of mulch, I'll be in business. And that should have you guys wondering what's going on at today's homesteader ranch. Well, here at my house, I don't know if you can see, but that fence right there outside the window, and the next fence, and the next fence, and the sun's in the way. But there's nothing against those fences anymore. I have torn out all the fruit trees here at Hummingbird. I only had 2 of them that survived. The other 8 had died. So I took the 8 back to Home Depot. I got all new fruit trees, and I have my orchard started. I rented a big piece of equipment called the Easy Auger, and I drilled humongous holes all over the ground. I took big metal stakes and string and measuring tape, and I measured out an area, and I figured out a new area that I wanted to start my orchard. And for those of you that haven't seen my fireside chat, homesteading A to Z from start to finish, I know I talk about that a lot, but that's one of the things that I really want to impress on everybody. And that is, when you buy a homestead, or you're in process of buying a homestead like me, I haven't paid it off. But because I'm buying the homestead, I don't want to go like I did here at Hummingbird, where I'm here for years and then decide to do fruit trees last year, because you don't get fruit for a few years. So this was one of my major goals besides fencing the whole property, because I mean that's still a major thing I want to do, is fence the whole property over there. And like I say in that video, you know, water's number 1, infrastructure's number 2, your fencing, your building, stuff like that. Then you want to have a source of food for your animals, a garden, a small farm. You want orchards, berry bushes, everything like that. So that way you have the fencing done, the infrastructure done, in a way to feed the animals. So when you get into homesteading and you really get down to the nitty gritty, you're not going out and spending every penny you have, you know, spending $300-400 a month in feed. If I had all this done prior to getting my animals, I wouldn't be spending that money. And I really want everybody out there who's going to homestead, thinks about homesteading, or is even curious about homesteading, to realize that you want to have these things done before you get into the homesteading movement. Because if you don't, you're just wasting more money, you're wasting more time, and you're going to have to work longer at a job trying to secure the funds to make your dreams come true. And the reason I say after water and fencing is fruit trees or an orchard first before a farm is for the simple fact that the trees take, 2 to 4 years to start giving you fruit. And not just that, if you're in a dry, bad area like I am here in Colorado, where we are super dry, there's fires everywhere. We're in severe droughts right now. We've had, I think, an hour and a half total of rain so far in 2018. And everybody's telling me my fruit trees will not produce fruit at 9,200 feet. Well, that's all fine and dandy. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. What people aren't realizing is the fruit trees aren't just for food, which tremendously they are because it's a big investment. But in my area, because it's so dry and the soil is like just dust. I mean, look at the driveway there. That's a little bit of grass and stuff. And that's how it is all throughout Colorado. It's not big, lush green fields because we don't have the water. And the big thing with the fruit trees is it's going to drop leaves. Every year they're going to drop leaves. If they produce fruit, they're going to give food. And with those leaves are going to cover the ground. They're going to keep the moisture inside the soil. They're going to break down and give compost to the soil. They're going to enrich any type of weeds or grasses or trees or anything there and give them a better chance of life, a better chance of growing into a food forest that I would like to create. So that way my animals have food that I don't have to worry about. So far I have 11 fruit trees planted. By the time I'm 40, which is not just shy of 9 years from now, I want to have 250 trees between fruit trees and nut trees. All those trees that I'm going to plant are going to be edible trees or plants. And then after my orchard is the farm, the garden, and things like that before you get your animals. So that's the number one reason why I say orchard, is because you want the trees established. They give you leaves for compost. And with your farm and garden, you've got to plant that every year. Now, yes, some herbs and things like that will come back year after year. But for most part, all your vegetables and stuff, you got to plant every year. And it's so much work. Once you have an orchard established and you have bushels and bushels of apples coming in, they get better with time. You get more and more over the years, and you don't really have to do anything. In the fall, you clip a couple branches, you gather up the leaves to make compost, and you go from there. So that's one of the major things that I've gotten done over at the ranch this week. I think I have either 3 or 4 days of work over there getting it done. And like I said, it's not completely done because I have to get the mulch and layer it really thick to hold the moisture in. But with the fence that I'm tearing down over there, there's multiple purposes. And now the sun's down, so I'm going to sit you back up here. There's multiple purposes for me tearing this fence down. A lot of people I talked to a lot of people in email. I talked to a lot of people on Facebook. And people are like, why would you keep tearing the fence down? And now with what I'm doing, I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of comments asking me why basically damaging the fence that I purchased. Now, when I say damaging the fence, I'm damaging it in a way that it's going to be hard to use it as fencing, but it's not damaged where it's unusable. What I've been doing is I've been taking the cattle panels. They're 16 feet long by 4 foot tall. And I've been bending them into circles. And like I said, without this fencing that all of you have helped support, and my one subscriber that every month without hesitation helps me out to get this fence, you will see your money has gone to good use. That fencing may not be fencing for the property line, but it is still being used as fencing to protect these trees. Because without this fencing around the trees, the goats like I've said in a couple Sunday, Monday vlogs, my grandfather does a good job at guard duty. He sits in that comfortable blue chair that I got him, that I sit out there in the orchard while I'm working on the trees. Goat comes around, he'll grab a dried out pumpkin and throw it and yell at the goat, and the goat goes running. So he's protecting the trees also. But with the fence being in the circle, I'm putting 3 T-posts in. And I think it was yesterday or day before, I went and I spent all day and totally burned my legs because I was in shorts. I didn't even think about it. And I tied the trees at the tops, the middle, and the base. So that way, with the winds we have, the tree is not swaying all over the place. It will give it a better chance of rooting properly. And then the fence that's around that has the 3 T-posts. That's what the string's tied off. And then the fence is tied to the T-post. Now, the fence is not only protecting against the goats, but the deer is protecting against antelope and the cows, because the cows come through there, and if I didn't have the fencing around the trees, I would go over there and all the trees be flat, because the cows would just walk over, push everything over, and that'd be the end of the orchard. So that's been a major accomplishment. I'll be getting mulch this week. I've got to get feed. I actually had the trailer on this truck because I don't want to damage the bed and everything like that and ding it all up trying to get feed like I did in my white truck. So now I'll have to have everything loaded on the trailer. It's a little bit more of a pain, but you know, that's what happens when you're homesteading. Things go wrong and you work with what you have. So the next thing that I'm going to be working on is next Monday, I'll be buying fence. And now you guys are probably thinking, why are you buying fence if you're tearing a fence down? And this goes into the big project of the ranch and what's going to be happening. It's going to cost me roughly $25,000 to $26,000 to do the whole 50 acres by myself. I've talked to several fence companies. They want between $20,000 to $25,000 just in labor. So I would be looking at $45,000 to $51,000 to do the fence that I want to do, when I can do it for roughly $25,000 to $26,000. So what I'm going to be doing is next Monday, I'm going to be buying 6 foot tall, which is taller than me because I'm only 5'7". And it's a no climb horse fence. And the reason I'm opting for that is for multiple reasons. The cattle panels that I have been buying, they do not stop deer, antelope, Minnie Mouse from hopping right over a fence or climbing over the fence. The holes are so big. Hey David, nice to see you. I'm glad you joined in. Hope you're having a good Memorial Day. So with the no climb fence, it's very narrow. It's 1x4 rectangles, so that will keep foxes out, lynx and bobcat that can go through the cattle panel. Also, with it being 6 foot tall, that will stop more deer and antelope from trying to get over the fence. And once I have the whole 50 acres fenced in, I'll have the dogs roaming about, so the deer and stuff won't try to come over. Oh, no problem, David. I hope you had a good day, just like I did. My grandfather's inside watching the Stanley Cup hockey game, which I'm sure that's where a lot of people are probably watching right now. So he's in there voting Capitals because that's his favorite team. But anyhow, with the fence that I'm getting, the cattle panels just aren't going to do the job that I need. Now, the cattle panels that I have, I still will be using. Like I said, I just tore down a bunch to make the circles for the orchard this week. And then the cattle panels are strong enough to contain pigs. The horse fence will not. Same thing with bears. The horse fence won't contain against the bears, but with the dogs running around, that should be no problem. So the cattle panels I will still have in use around the orchard to protect the trees. I'll be using them to make arches to go up and over for vine plants such as sugar snap peas, tomatoes, and things like that in the farm once I get that established. And I'll also be using them to make multiple pens for the pigs, because I eventually want to keep the female pigs separated from the males, so that way I can control when they have babies and when they get pregnant. So it's going to be a lot of work. I'm not sure if I can install the 6-foot fence. The rolls are 100 foot long. They weigh 220 pounds and they cost $250 a pop. And I need, I think, I calculated 16 of them or something like that. Or no, 100 of them or something like that. 60 of them. I don't really remember. But anyhow, it's 6,000 feet perimeter and they're 100-foot rolls, so I need 60 rolls. So 60 rolls at $250 a pop is $15,000. And then you got to figure the T-post and the tie wire. And that's going to come out, like I said, $26,000. So I'm going to attempt to do it because I don't have tractors, I don't have backhoes, I don't have bobcats or any type of four-wheeler or any type of equipment to install fence. So this 119 pounds is going to try his best. If I can do the first roll, then I'll go ahead and save up money by the second roll, the third roll, so on and so forth until it's accomplished. So I hope everybody's having a great day, and I'll talk to you later, David. I'm going to get back inside because this video is already almost 22 minutes long. And if anybody has any questions or any concerns, feel free to drop a comment. I'll talk to you guys later.